morning, students. Today's session is for BB third year HR specialized student, and it is for your first HR specialization, that is for Advanced Human Resource Management. Today, I will discuss a new theory of motivation. In my last class, I discussed one theory of motivation, that is Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy theory of motivation. Today, we will discuss another theory of motivation, that is Herzberg's two-factor theory of motivation. So before starting today's session, let me clear you what we will discuss in theories of motivation. In theories of motivation, generally we discuss what are the views, opinions related to motivation given by different experts or psychologists. According to different psychologists, the ways of motivation is different. So what are the views, what are the opinions related to motivating a human resource? Generally, we will discuss these things in various theories of motivation. So today we will discuss another theory of motivation, that is Herzberg's two-factor theory. So in this theory today we will cover, according to Herzberg, how an employee will be motivated, what are the criticism of this theory, and what are the implications of this theory. Let me start this theory. This theory was propounded by Friedrich Herzberg. He extended the work of Maslow. He continued his experiment on the basis of Maslow's work and proposed a new theory of motivation that is known as Herzberg's two-factor theory. This theory is also called as Hygiene theory. Why this theory is called as two-factor theory, let me clear you later. During 50s, means in the year 1959, Herzberg gave a motivational theory that is called as two-factor theory. Means in the year 1959, he introduced two-factor theory of motivation. He started his experiment by taking 200 accountants and 200 engineers from different organizations. After taking 200 accountants and 200 engineers from different organizations for his experiment, he told them to express their feelings and time when they feel good in their job and when they feel bad in their job. So whatever the result he got from the employees about the situation when they feel good in their job is totally different from the situation when they feel bad in their job. He identifies that good feeling is associated with job satisfaction, whereas bad feeling is associated with job dissatisfaction. Hence, he identified that if a person is satisfied with their job, then at that situation, good feeling is created, and if a person is dissatisfied with their job, at that situation, a bad feeling is created in the minds of the employees. After that, he continuously involved in identifying various factors that leads to job satisfaction. Means in the presence of which factor employee can be satisfied with their job and a good feeling is created in the minds of the employees. So after that, he also tried to identify what are the factors that leads to job dissatisfaction, means in the presence of which factor that create a bad feeling in the minds of the employees. So he finds various factors that satisfies a human resource. Means in the presence of various factors, a person is interested to exert high level of effort towards the organization, and there are some factors. If these factors are present in a particular job, then a good feeling is created in the minds of the employees. And these factors are called job satisfiers by Herzberg. And job satisfiers are also called as motivators. Herzberg said that if these factors are present in a particular job, then that encourages a person to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. And if these factors are present in a particular job, that encourages a person to give the level-based performance towards the organizational objective. And he called these factors are the job satisfiers or motivators. After that, he finds various factors that leads to job dissatisfaction. Means he found that there are number of factors that leads to job dissatisfaction. If there are some factors, if that present in a particular job, then at that situation a bad feeling is created in the minds of the employees. called these factors are the job dissatisfiers, and job dissatisfiers are also called as hygiene or maintenance factor. Here, what is the meaning of hygiene? What is the meaning of maintenance? Hygiene is a word that comes from medical science. Hygiene means taking prevention for a better health. Maintenance means controlling a thing. Generally, we say that if we maintain a thing properly, then it lasts long. So these two words related to a positive aspect of a particular thing. But Herzberg used these two words for job dissatisfiers. Generally, we say that job dissatisfiers are the negative factors, negative aspect of a thing. So these two positive factors are used by Herzberg for job dissatisfiers. So what is the reason behind using these two factors for job dissatisfiers? Let me clear it. According to Herzberg, there are various factors that satisfy a human resource that create a good feeling in the minds of the employees is called as job satisfiers. And he said that the opposite of job satisfiers is job dissatisfiers. Means he said that job dissatisfiers are not the factor that uh, demotivate the human resource, that completely dissatisfied the human resource. Uh, he said that if these factors are present in a particular job, that simply prevent the human resource for exerting high level of effort towards the organizational goal. Means he said that if these factors are present, the employees are not motivated to exert high level of effort. If these factors are present, then the person will not encourage to give the level best performance towards the organizational goal. So he said that there are certain factors which motivates a human resource. So opposite of that is job dissatisfiers. Means in the presence of job dissatisfiers, the employees are not motivated to exert high level of effort. Means if these factors are present in a particular job, the motivational level is completely zero. He said that if these factors are present in a particular job, then that prevent a human resource from complete dissatisfaction with the job, and that prevent a human resource from producing negative results, that prevent a human resource from creating any negative impression in the minds about the company. So he said that these factors are also essential. If these factors are not present in a particular job, then employees are negatively dissatisfied. Means they're totally, completely dissatisfied with their job. Sometimes that leads to absenteeism and turnover. So he said that organizations should have some hygiene and maintenance factors. These factors prevent the human resource from complete job dissatisfaction. So these factors prevent a person from producing negative results. He used the word hygiene or maintenance factor. So for that reason, he called these factors as hygiene and maintenance factor, because these factors prevent a person from complete dissatisfaction. So after getting these things, means Hirschberg identified two factors. First one is the motivational factor. Second one is the hygiene and maintenance factor. After combining these two things, after combining the two factors, their theory. Hirschberg named his theory that is known as Hirschberg's two-factor theory of motivation. In this theory, we will discuss what are the various types of hygiene and maintenance factor, and what are the types of motivational factor. Let me discuss first various types of hygiene and maintenance factor. So, according to Herzberg, hygiene and maintenance factor is also an essential one. If in an organization these factors are not present, then the employees are completely dissatisfied with their job, and the employees produce negative results that leads to complete job dissatisfaction, that leads to absenteeism and turnover. He said that if these factors present in a particular job, then that prevent a human resource from complete job dissatisfaction, that prevent a human resource from producing negative results, that prevent a human resource from creating any negative impression in their mind about the company. So he said that if these factors are present, that doesn't motivate a human resource to exert high level of effort towards the organizational objective. If these factors are present at that situation, the motivation level is completely zero and the person is interested to work on a regular basis, on a as usual basis. They are not interested, they are not motivated to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. Such factors do not produce positive results but that prevent negative results. This factor prevents something, so Hirschberg used job dissatisfiers are hygiene and maintenance factors. But if these factors are not present, it leads to complete job dissatisfaction and that sometimes lead to absenteeism and turnover. This factor does not produce any satisfactory result, but this eliminate dissatisfaction. So Hirschberg said that hygiene and maintenance factor is also necessary because this factor doesn't produce any positive result but it prevents the human resource from complete job dissatisfaction. It prevents the human resource from producing any negative result. So these factors are very important for the organization. Next comes to what are the types of hygiene and maintenance factors. According to Hirschberg, there are various types of hygiene factors. Let me tell what are the types of hygiene and maintenance factor that is given by Hirschberg. So, first maintenance or hygiene factor is company policy and administration. If the company's policy means if the company's rules, regulations, administration related to human resource is good, then that doesn't motivate a human resource to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal, but it prevents the human resource from complete dissatisfaction. If the rules and regulation means if the company's policy is in the favor of human resource, then it retain the human resource, then it prevent the human resource from complete dissatisfaction. It prevent the human resource from producing any negative risk. Next, hygiene factor is supervision. If the company's supervision level, guidance level is perfect, guidance level is good, then the person will not interested to exert high level of effort, but it prevents them from complete dissatisfaction. Means in case an employee require any help from their superiors, and at that situation, if the person get a help from their superiors, then they can able to complete their task in a proper way, so that they will not motivated to exert high level of effort, but it prevents them from complete job dissatisfaction. If they are not able to getting any help from their superiors, and if they are not capable to complete their job perfectly, at that situation, a negative impression created in the minds of the employee, and the employees are frustrated, and that leads to complete job dissatisfaction, and that ultimately leads to absenteeism and turnover. So, supervision level also prevent the human resource from complete dissatisfaction. Next hygiene factor is interpersonal relationship. Interpersonal relationship also plays a vital role for preventing the employees from complete dissatisfaction. So, what is the meaning of interpersonal relationship? If in an organization there is a healthy relationship exists between a employer and employee, then employees are satisfied with the organization. And if there is a good relationship exists between the individuals, between the work group of the organization, then everything is performed in a most effective manner, and the organization is capable to minimize the conflicts into a large extent. And if there are no chances of arising conflict, then the organization is capable to maintain a industrial peace and capable to maintain a industrial harmony. Then that create a satisfaction that create a satisfaction within an employee. And if there is no chances of arising conflict, then the person are satisfied with the organization, then the person are interested to work on a regular basis. If there are number of conflicts, means if there are absence sense of interpersonal, good interpersonal relationship means if there are number of conflicts, then um, that cannot satisfy a human resource, and the human resource feel frustration, and the human resource at that situation completely dissatisfied with their job, and a negative impression create in the minds of the employees, and the employee try to produce negative results. So if there is a good interpersonal relationship at that situation, human resource can able to prevent from complete job dissatisfaction, and it can able to prevent from producing negative results. So interpersonal relationship also plays an important role for preventing an employee from complete job dissatisfaction from producing negative results. Next comes to working condition. If the organization provide a good working condition to the human resource, means if the working condition is according to the requirement of the human resource, that doesn't motivate a human resource to exert high level of effort towards the organizational objective. Means if the organization provides a good quality of work life to the human resource, that doesn't motivate a human resource to exert high level of effort, that doesn't encourage a person to give their level-based performance towards the organization, but it prevents the human resource from producing any negative result. Means, if in an organization the working condition is not according to the requirement of the employees, and if the working conditions is not perfect, then the employees are not interested to work with such a working condition, and the employees are not able to comfortably work in that particular area, and that create a complete dissatisfaction within a human resource, and that produces a negative result. So for preventing such things, organizations should have to provide a good working conditions to the human resource. Next comes to salary. In salary, I put a star mark. So, what is the reason behind putting a star mark in salary? According to Herzberg, salary sometimes acts as a hygiene factor, and sometimes it acts as a motivational factor. Salary does not relate it to a particular factor. Means if a person get high salary, if a person gets suitable compensation, then that person is satisfied with the organization, then that person is motivated with the organization, so that for that person salaries act as a motivational factor. And if a person gets higher level of salary, then that person is interested to or motivated to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. But if a person get minimum wages for fulfilling their basic requirement of life, for that person, salary acts as a hygiene or maintenance factor. Means by getting the basic wages, they're capable to fulfill their basic needs only. If they are not able to get this much salary, then that prevent the person from satisfaction. That prevent the person from satisfaction. Means if the person are not able to get a basic salary, then a complete dissatisfaction creates in the minds of the employee, and sometimes that leads to absenteeism and turnover. Next comes to status. If a person gets status, reputation inside the organization, that doesn't motivate a human resource to exert high level of effort towards the organizational objective. It prevents the human resource from complete dissatisfaction. It prevents the human resource from producing negative results. If the person are not able to get some prestige, not able to get some status from the organization, then the person feel frustrated, then the person feel helpless, then at that situation, a bad feeling is created in the minds of the employees, and that person are completely dissatisfied with their job. So, for preventing such things, organizations should have to provide a particular level of status, a particular level of reputation to a particular employee. Next comes to security. Security is also act as a hygiene or maintenance factor. If a person gets the job security, if a person gets some safety measures from for preventing any accidents, then that doesn't motivate a human resource to exert high level of effort towards the organizational objective. If the person gets security, if the person gets some safety measure from from preventing some hazardous situation, then that prevent a human resource from producing any negative result. So, according to Herzberg, these are the various hygiene and maintenance factors. If these factors are present in a particular job that doesn't motivate a human resource, but it prevents the human resource from complete dissatisfaction, it prevents the human resource from producing negative results. So he said that these factors are also vital, also important for the organization. If these factors are not there, then the employees are completely dissatisfied, and at a particular time, the employee may leave the organization. And but he said that these factors are not the real factors which motivate the human resource. He said that these factors helps the employee to prevent various negative things. Next comes to motivational factors. So according to Hirschberg, there are a number of factors which satisfies a human resource. He said that there are certain factors if they present in a particular job, the employees are satisfied with their job, and the employees are interested to exert high level of effort towards the organization. There are certain factors which create a good feeling in the minds of the employees. So, motivational factors always improve the organizational productivity, organizational performance level also. Generally, these factors are related to the nature of work and also related to the nature of job. Means, according to Hirschberg, whatever the motivational factors are there, that is only related to the job of the employee. Means, if these factors are present in a particular employee's job, that helps the employee or that encourages the employee to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. And he said that these are the real motivational factors, these are the real motivational things which encourages a people or person of, encourages the employees of an organization to exert high level of effort towards the organization, and which encourages a person to give their level best performance towards the organization. He said that if these factors are present in a particular job, then the employees are satisfied, then the employees are interested to improve their productivity by using their own creativity, their own innovative skills. Motivational factors have a positive effect on job satisfaction. If employees are motivated, then he is interested to give their level best performance towards the organization, and he is interested to exert all their potentialities, all their energies to a particular job. He said that if a person is satisfied, if a person satisfied with various factors, then the person's morale, satisfaction, efficiency, and productivity is improved. Hence, according to the Hodgberg, if the motivational factors are present in a particular job, that improves the employees' morale, that improves the satisfaction level of the employees, and that leads to improvement of productivity, improvement of efficiency. If the employee get these factors, then they are interested to exert all their energies into a particular job, and they help the organization to get its objective. So he said that any increase in motivational factor improves the level of satisfaction. Means if the motivational factor level is improved, then employee satisfaction level is also improved. Means employees are motivated, employees are dedicated and loyal to the organization. And he also said that these factors are the real factors for motivating a human resource, and these factors are used by an organization for motivating its employees. Means according to Hirschberg, organizations should have some motivational factor for motivating a human resource. By applying these factors, a organization capable to motivate its human resource. Now we will discuss what are the motivational factors that have to be present in our organization in a particular job, in a particular job, so that the person can be interested to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. According to Hirschberg, there are various types of motivational factors. Let me discuss one by one the motivational factors. So first motivational factors is achievement. What is the meaning of achievement? Achievement, we can say that if a person accomplishes a particular thing in a better way, then we can say that that person achieves something. Means if a person having desire to achieve something, then that person is dedicated, then that person is interested to do more things, and that person is interested to use all their potentialities, all their energies to achieve something. So, achievement is a factor that automatically motivated a human resource to exert high level of effort because the person always wants to achieve something, and for achieving something they are motivated, and for achieving something they are interested to do more things. So, achievement factor always motivates the human. Next motivational factor is advancement. Advancement means what? Advancement means development or improvement. If in a job there is a concept of advancement, means if in a job there are opportunity for developing person's skills, capabilities, then the persons are interested to motivate. Means if a person want to develop their skills, knowledge and capabilities, and in a particular job these opportunities are available, then that person want to grasp this opportunity. So for accepting these opportunities, a human resource always try to motivate. A human resource always try to do more. Next comes to possibility of growth. Here, what is the meaning of possibility of growth? How possibility of growth is act as a motivational factor? If in a job there are chances of promotion, there are chances of getting promotion. Means if an employer realizes that in a particular job or in a particular organization there are chances for getting promotion, means after completing some years, after getting a particular level of experience, the person, if there are opportunities for promoting a person from one lower level job to higher level job, means if there are chances of growth, then automatically the person is motivated to do more things. Means if the person want to go to the next higher level job, the person try to acquire more things, the person try to acquire more level of experience, and the person want to do more things, so that they can be promoted to that job. So growth perspective, growth aspect lead to motivation of a human. Next motivational factor is recognition. If there is recognition of work, if there is identification work, then the person can be motivated to exert high level of effort towards the organization. Means if a person completes something in a perfect manner, and if the organization recognizes that particular person's work in front of other employees, then that person is motivated, and other persons also motivated to exert high level of effort towards the organization. Generally, generally recognizing the work of a employees, what the organization will do after completing every month. Generally, organization announces the best performer of the month. After announcing the best performer of the month, they posted their name in the company's notice board. So every employee get information about the best performer of this month. These things, this recognition, this identification of work of a particular employee, that motivates a human resource. And by seeing these things, other employees are also motivated to exert high level of effort, and other employees also interested to be a best performer of the month. So recognition is also factor that motivates a human resource. Next factor that motivates a human resource is work itself. If a job involves higher responsibility, if a job involves higher authority, means if a job involves more power to control somebody, that automatically motivates human resource. Take the example of manager job. Generally, in a manager job, there are more powers, there are more freedoms. Generally, these types of job motivate a human resource. Next comes to last motivational factor, that is responsibility. If in a job there are more responsibility, Means in a particular job, if the organization provide more freedom to a particular employee, that they can able to make their decisions in their particular areas, and they can able to respond, they can only responsible for their job. Means if a particular job involving a number of responsibilities, then that job automatically motivates a human resource to exert high level of efforts towards the organization. And according to Herzberg, there are various motivational factors, and if these motivational factors are present in a particular job, that motivates a human resource, that encourages a human resource to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. And he said these factors are job satisfier or motivational factors. Next comes to criticism of Herzberg's two-factor theory. Herzberg's two-factor theory was criticized by different psychologists in different ways. Some said that it has limited methodology, as by applying limited concepts, he developed a theory. And some psychologists says that there are some psychologists says that the difference between motivational factor and maintenance factor is not clear. Means, according to some psychologists, Herzberg Herzberg identifies salary as both hygiene factor or motivational factor. So, according to some psychologists, Herzberg did not clarify what are the motivational factors and what are the maintenance factors. Last criticism of Herzberg's two-factor theory is this theory is based on small sample. Means Herzberg taking 200 accountants and 200 engineers for conducting his experiment. So 200 sample is a very small thing, and it's according to some psychologists, it is not a good sample um, for proving a theory, and it is not a good sample for providing a good motivational theory. Next comes to implication of Herzberg two-factor theory. In implication of Herzberg's two-factor theory, what we will discuss in case of implication of Herzberg's two-factor theory, we will discuss how this theory is how Herzberg's two-factor theory is practiced by human resource manager in an organization to motivate its human resource. So, what the manager will do, how the manager use this type of theory for motivating the human resource. First, the manager should focus on ensuring the acceptability of hygiene factor to avoid employee dissatisfaction. Means manager always focuses to that employees should always accept the hygiene factor. If the employees accept the hygiene factors, then they're able to prevent complete job dissatisfaction. Produce, they're able to prevent from producing negative results. Next, the manager must ensure that work is motivating and rewarding. Means whatever the work is assigned by the manager to the employees, that must be motivating, that must be motivated. Means in that job, there are various types of motivational factors like advancement, growth, possibilities of development, advancement, and if a particular employee complete these things in a perfect manner, then the person should be rewarded so that the person can be motivated. And managers should have to stress upon job enrichment. Means managers should have to enlarge the job in a vertical manner. So, and the manager have to add more responsibilities to a particular job, more authority to a particular job, so that the person can be motivated to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. Last, managers should have to concentrate on motivational factor that strengthen the work quality. Means managers should have to concentrate on motivational factor. Manager have to motivate the human resource by using various motivational factors, whatever given by Herzberg, so that the work quality can be improved, so that person can be motivated to exert high level of effort. So this is all about Herzberg two factors theory. This is all about today's class. Thank you.